Good evening. Ira Epstein with your Metal Market Wrap-Up, and this wrap-up is for the evening of Monday, the 15th of May, halfway through the month, right? 2023, 6:50 p.m. Central Time. I'll tell you, I'm so nervous about making trades in the financial sector that I'm just not going to until I know what's going on with the debt ceiling. Today we had events taking place. Janet Yellen came out and she said, hey, we're not going to make it past June 1st from the looks of things. That's much sooner than people thought they had. Over the weekend, we saw that everybody was working. Leo Brainerd comes out today, and she's moved over to the White House in the economic advisory role. And she says, no, there's good headway being made. Okay. And then about 1:30, Kevin McCarthy comes out and says, no headway's being made. He thinks they're extremely far apart. It's in my updates tonight. I quoted him word for word on what he said. And then we have the president getting ready to leave for the G7. Okay. So as I look at it, here's the reality. Tomorrow, the president said that they're all going to meet at 3 o'clock Central Time, 4 o'clock Eastern Time. Will they agree on an extension? That's how I'm viewing it. The fact that what Mr. McCarthy said, it's not going to be resolved overnight. He's not going to be a liar. So that tells me one of two events happen. The president gets on his plane. They can't reach an extension. He goes to the G7. How do you think that's going to play with the American public? I can tell you what would happen to me if I were a voter for him. You can't be here, but you got to be there to solve. We come first. We come first. So that can't happen, in my opinion. I mean, that's just so low-hanging fruit. I can imagine all the ads come for the November election against that. It's just not the way it'll work. And I know there's the others that say, and I heard it today, hey, this is an electronic world. Does it really matter if he's here or there? It does. Go make a big business deal with somebody. You want to be eyeball to eyeball with them in 99% of the cases. Where and if you can, you want to shake hands, say, we've agreed, let's get this done. Whether you two think it's the best deal or not, that's how it's done. I don't see it going the other way, but that's me. Let's assume I'm wrong, and he hops on that plane with no deal. Do you want to be long these markets? I'm not sure I'd want to. Now, what I do think the fallout will be, if an extension is the stock market likely gets a pop. The dollar probably goes down on the news. Bonds and notes, they might even get in the futures a small rally here. Energies are getting a little bit of a boost, not a big one, a little bit, because today the energy secretary, Ms. Grenholm, I try not to remember her name because I don't believe a thing she says, came out and said, no, we now want to get from you tenders. We're ready to buy oil. Now, she didn't say what price, but we know it's probably in the $70 range down. But of course, they wait for it to go back up. I told you this would happen, and then they'll put out offers. And she said, no, we can magically put it away in Texas. She named where. That's where the delivery would be for August. 3 million barrels. Okay, I've got to take her on her face value that, in fact, that is the case that it's going to be. I can't not do that. But the market is doing what I am. The government's not going to chase prices. So it's either going to, on its own, come down to it where it makes sense for whatever in their mind, which I don't think is very strong, but whatever the Department of Energy's mind is to where they think they can buy that oil and where they should buy that oil. It was recently down to $64. Where were they? Where they were was a line. We can't do anything until December. There's maintenance going on in all the caves. I didn't make that up. It's quoted today. I was reading it again in Reuters and Bloomberg. They're reading the same things I am. I'm just making a lot of noise about it because I think at the end of the day, it's part and parcel. Look what's going on. I hate to say, I'm not trying to be political. I feel so bad for these people at the border. I'm in a sanctuary city. Can you imagine? We don't have money, and yet here we are. We're flooded every day with all these people. That's what a sanctuary city is. If you're going to make it a sanctuary city, you're supposed to take care of them. Let's see what the new mayor does. In the gold market, well, as you can see here, sort of drifting for the week, down 70 cents right now. And as you can see for today, well, you're slipping back a little bit in the gold. The trend is down, lower highs, lower lows. You're at the battleground point, the 18-day average of closes. It's from there that decisions on what the next trend will be. While the trend is down when you're over the 18-day average and the bias is up, the two counter each other and you have nothing, the way I teach charting. Where did you stop the rally? If you don't see that Bollinger Band, and learn how to do it on our website under education, iraepstein.com, go to education and that Bollinger Band, enhanced Bollinger Bands. That's where traders were coming out both times. And now you're back to neutral land, as I like to call it, and momentum's even flat. I'm lost with what to do in that market. In the gold-silver ratio, I think you're trying to make a peak here as to the differential. You got down to 78, you went back to 83 and a quarter or so. You could easily fall back a couple of cents from there, easily, maybe in terms of ounces back to 79, 80. In the silver, I say that because you got under the Bollinger Band and you're moving to the right-hand side. However, the trend is down. You may lock onto that band and still come down. Why? Because the news out of China, everything we're getting says that their recovery is anemic. Very anemic. Yes, you'll see their first quarter numbers were better, but it masks what's really going on. And it's a much bigger slowdown than people thought. Copper market shows you that as well because they consume 50% of the world's copper, still very much in a bear trend, not quite embedded though. In the platinum market, again, you got up to the Bollinger Band, kaboom, one time, and the market just let go. Didn't quite make there in the palladium. The trend is still up here. You have higher lows, but suddenly you're trying to develop lower highs. I think you're going to fight a battle at that 18-day average. And in the dollar, I think the professional money bailed today. And when I say bailed, I think they bailed in mass. The combination of getting up, let alone on Friday, to the 100-day average and that, and again doing it for good measure and then pulling back in it would take to keep the dollar going, in my opinion, up, that nothing comes out of tomorrow's 3 p.m. Central Time meeting between McCarthy and Biden. I expect them to find a way to reach an extension. It gives Congress a chance to go on their vacation. They have it all planned. You know that already. The president's supposed to go to G7. The staff members are talking. What's to be lost by that? But in order to get the extension, you have to agree to something to pay the bills. That's going to be the difficult task. How do they do that, the extension, and what does McCarthy agree to? Because it's not up to the president. It's up to McCarthy in this particular situation. It's going to be interesting, and I don't want to gamble on it. So you put it all together, you try to come up with ideas, and I promise you, you will follow me in the morning as I give you those ideas. I'm full of them in the morning. I get up 3:30 in the morning, start watching TV and listening to what's going on around the markets. I start recording videos for trading at about 5:15 in the morning, a.m. Central Time. I cover 40 charts. They look this way, black backgrounds, all the lines. I teach you what they are, and we start analyzing what the markets are, where the dollar risk is there a trend to be done? Frankly, right now in the financial arena, stock indices, bonds, currencies, I want to be on the sideline. I don't mind trading the grain markets right now, the meat markets right now, the soft commodities, but I'd be very careful until we get through tomorrow on the others. How do you get this? Simple. Go to our website. You'll see the word research, give it a click, and you can see morning futures video, or click up here. You'll see an icon, give it a click and do that. And you can always call my staff. I'm Ira Epstein. I want to remind everybody, I'm not going to be here Thursday, Friday, and most likely Monday. I'll be back on Tuesday of next week is what my plan goes for. We might be back a day early. We're debating about it. We, being my wife, is telling me what I'm doing. And I will know what I'm doing probably tonight. You take care.